Hey guys, this is Misty Buck, president of Miss Inc., and we are here for another Marketing Monday. I have a really special guest here today. This is Bradley Morton. He is a very good friend of mine, and he is the owner of Native Roots of South Florida. I'm going to let Bradley introduce himself in just a second, but I'm really excited today to talk about how he has built his business over the last 3 years. And a lot of it might surprise you, some of the marketing tactics that he actually took at first in those early days to really get things going. So I know a lot of it is word of mouth now, but it wasn't that case in the beginning. So we're going to talk about how he has really built his business. If you're driving down the 826, you might see his workers there. They're doing a big project on the Palmetto right now, safely, of course. That was my first question. So anyhow, Bradley, I'm going to let you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us, a little bit about who you are, what you do, how you got started, all that kind of good stuff.
All right. Well, my name's Bradley Morton. I'm the owner of Native Roots of South Florida. It's been in business for about 4 years now. We just do a lot of tree business, tree removals, re-landscaping. We do a lot of stump removals, mitigation projects, and a lot of hazardous mainly. So we go around Miami-Dade County, Broward, and Florida Keys, and we just take care of anybody who needs to be taken care of.
And you have taken care of my house, by the way.
I took care of hers.
He did. He was there for their crew was there for like a whole day. We hadn't had our trees cut in about a decade, and so we're ready in case. No, knock on wood, no storms come this season. But if they do, we're ready now. They won't take out my roof. So
definitely a big transformation that day.
Yeah, you did a big transformation that day. I wish I had some before and after. So you don't only do residential stuff, you do commercial stuff, right? So like I said, where are your guys at right now? Where'd you say?
Right just north of Sunset on the 826.
Just pulling trees.
Just cutting everything off the sound barrier walls, doing basically cleaning up the signs so everybody can see the signs because you couldn't see them before, and there was a lot of complaints coming in. So when those come in, contracts get released and we go out there and we take care of it.
That's awesome.
So,
and you guys also do a lot of, so you do residential, you do commercial, you do storm cleanup. I mean, you guys are really like one of the go-to guys here for, you got a big job, we're going to get it taken care of.
Exactly. That's how I actually started business, was storm cleanup. Me and a buddy of mine, Mike, we took, he's actually my business partner now. We took basically a big risk and we went all the way to Panama City for Hurricane Michael, I believe it was. And it paid off very well, and ever since then it's been a snowball.
So you guys were just like, let's just give this a shot. There was just a hurricane in Panama City. We're gonna just say we can do this and go there and just figure it out.
I had some contracts land in my lap, and we were like, all right, let's do it.
Wow.
The regular 9 to 5 wasn't cutting it, so we just went up there and we made it happen. And ever since then, we've done every hurricane in Florida since then.
Wow.
Yep. And we went to Louisiana last year. And we held back this year because we have so much work here, but would have loved to go help the people there, but.
Well, it's tough. It is tough because you can only be in so many places at one time, right? Exactly. And that does become a tough decision. So, and you're right, there has been a lot going on here in South Florida.
Yeah. And so they don't have enough crews down here to maintain everything. So that's when we get these nice projects on 826 and we just go north from there.
Yeah. That's awesome. So, and you guys do really great work. So I want to talk, so this is called Marketing Monday. So I want to talk about your business, of course. But I also want to talk about how you built your business in the early days. So you talked about that first contract, but that wasn't going to be enough to get the whole business going to where you want it to go. So I think your story is so interesting because a lot of people, their first notion when they start a business is, let me get online, right? I'm going to put all my effort into everything digital. And you did the opposite, and you had a lot of success. So talk to us about that. What'd you do?
So everybody would go online. They'd look to find a marketer or somebody to just go call people or send out pamphlets through the mail. I didn't do any of that. After we got back, I bought a stump grinder, and that's all I had. So I'd go around neighborhood to neighborhood. I'd find people outside of their house. Hey, you guys got trees that need to be trimmed? I'd love to give you a good deal. I'm just now up and coming. I have a couple nice pieces of equipment. We can make this happen. So I get one guy or a lady, and we'd do their property. And while my guys are doing the property, I'm walking the neighborhood. And I'm finding people outside, socializing, talking to everybody. That's how I met most of my contractor friends. That's how I met a lot of these big time people. And it was just
walking the neighborhood. That's pretty old school, but it's been really effective for you.
Yeah. And most of my friends are old school guys. And I learned from like a buddy of mine, Sean Reeder and Tim Thweet. You know, they taught me how to basically, hey, go. It doesn't matter what they think of you. Go. Make them know who you are. If they don't want to hire you, they don't want to hire you. But, you always got to take the risk. And it's paid off 9 times out of 10.
Wow.
So you go up there, just have a good attitude, give them a good price. Don't try and rip people off, and it goes far.
Right. So yeah, that goes really far. And I think I think in your industry too, doing what you say you're going to do and showing up when you say you're going to show up.
That's the key.
Is
show
huge.
up. Like I get a lot of calls, especially in the Keys, where they call the tree guys and they just don't come for months on end. I had one client that I did the trees in June and they've been waiting since January.
Wow.
And so that's what kind of separates me from a lot of other businesses is when I say I'm going to show up, unless I have something crazy happen, I'm going to be there.
Right.
And, you know, it is business. There are things that do happen. So you do have to like reschedule accordingly. But 9 times out of 10, we're there on the day we're going to be there.
Wow.
So,
yeah. You know, you can't control things like weather and other
weather
stuff
is a big factor, especially down here with the amount of rain.
Right.
So
right. So this is really awesome. So you said, all right, I'm going to take this project in Panama City. I'm going to just go, okay, now there's something here. I'm going to really start this business. I'm going to basically go door to door. And this is pre-COVID. You said in 2018
yep,
is when you started.
November.
So you're pretty much going door to door. You're just out there old school, building those relationships, which we talk about so much on this show. So how have those, you said it's really paid off for you building those relationships?
Really paid off. Like I do a lot of work with Christy from Night Mowing. I met her doing a stump at her yard. In the same situation. She drove by, she saw me doing a stump. I met her right after I finished that. I didn't give it no time. I went straight to her property and I was like, hey, well, I'll do this right now.
Right.
You know, and then she turned around and looked at me like I was crazy, but we did it. And then she asked me, do you have this kind of equipment? And ever since then, I've just kept buying equipment that like she would request and other contractors would request. And then now here we are on age 26.
And now here you are
doing all these storm chasing and stump grinding and removing, doing everything.
That's
so I can't complain.
Yeah,
I love it.
No, but the thing is you really put in a lot of effort. So sometimes people will start businesses and then they're sort of not all of them are as outside and visual in neighborhoods as yours are. Yours is, but like sometimes it's service based and it's a little bit different of a story. But I think that's why it's important too to know your audience and know your product,
right? Because
you had an opportunity to do something like that. But I think just really focusing, especially in the beginning, on what's the best way to build those relationships was key for you. Now you told me you also did some flyers.
Yeah, I did like the little door-to-door flyers. I would put rubber bands on them and I'd stick them on the outside of mailboxes. I'd stick them on door handles. I'd walk around and I'd see somebody running with their dog. I'd be, hey, here's a flyer.
Right.
You know, you must live in the neighborhood because you're running right here with your dog. So, hey, here's a flyer. You may need something. Hey, call me. And a lot of that went farther than I could even imagine. Like it was insane. Still to this day, all I use is Facebook and Instagram.
Right.
That's it.
Right. So you sort of transitioned from doing the door-to-door stuff and handing out flyers to people walking their dogs to doing more. I obviously did a lot of word-of-mouth business and referral business. And then your stuff that you do with the county, but you've done, so now you're building your business through digital on social and on Facebook and Instagram.
Right. Like now we're building a website. We're doing more social media marketing because that does help, you know, with the generation. Everybody's on their phones. They're constantly going through Instagram, Facebook or something. I don't have a TikTok yet. My girlfriend, she does.
So she's like a TikTok star, by the way.
Well, she's going to be. I know that. Huh? She's going to be. I know that.
If you're a Disney person, you need to follow his girlfriend.
Yeah, Emily and Disney.
There you go.
But no, it's just social media is really taking everything up a step for everybody. You know, a lot of companies don't use social media, which also helps us out a lot. Getting tags, and when this guy has 10,000 followers, you know, if he just tags you, you know, at least 10 people are going to look at that.
Right.
You know, and then that's 10 more people that you didn't get to talk to yourself, but because you got tagged in their post, now it's
so you mean like if your customer like takes a video and tags you in it, in other words.
Yeah, and that happens a lot.
Yeah.
So, and I love it because it's like, it's free marketing.
Right.
And it's simple. It reaches their whole entire client base.
Right.
And I've gotten a lot of work that way too.
Yeah.
Like my buddy Jason Spiewak, he owns Lomello's Meat Market. Well, he's a part owner in that. And
we love Lomello's. It's right down the street from us.
I love that place. Best steak ever.
I don't even eat fish. I mean meat, but I'll go look for the fish dip. Best fish dip out there.
They got it all.
But it was out last time. What's up with that? Anyhow, okay, we're getting off track.
Yeah, he would tag me in all his posts, and then a lot of his clientele and following base, they were calling me, hey, I love the trees you put in his house. Oh my gosh, you guys did a great clusia hedge. Can you do this, and that, and just stuff like that. Just it blows up. It blows up. And it's like I said, it's just the business cards is how I started, walking door to door, and then now tags on Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah. But again, I think the other thing that has been so good for you is that you continue to do what you did in those early days, which is provide a service, but like really provide, like answer your phone. Right.
That's the main thing. Is just honor what you say you're gonna do. And then if there's a miscommunication, you guys gotta figure it out. That happens too. It's business. Some people don't have, like, I had a client had broken English, and we were in a little bit of miscommunication. But at the end of the day, the client's first. So as a business owner, yeah, you got to take the loss sometimes, but you always want to make sure the client's happy, because you don't want that client going and saying, hey, I had a bad taste in my mouth from Native Roots. That kills me. So I'm going and I'm making sure everybody's happy down to the bottom of it. Right. That's the main thing too. Keep clients happy. Don't show up and do a hack job and leave. People work for their money, and they don't want to spend it a lot. And tree work is not the cheapest industry. It's kind of expensive. You got hazardous trees, you got poisonous plants, you got to take into factor everything. And so when you give somebody a bill, for a couple $1,000s, they worked hard for that couple $1,000s. So you want to give them that return on the money that they're spending.
And I think that's a lot of people don't do that. And we're talking about marketing, like tactics of outreach, but I think people oftentimes don't even realize that the service that they provide, that is your marketing. That's number one, first and foremost, your first form of marketing.
That's what got me in the industry, is beautifying. I love beautifying properties. And I'd have people walk by, wow, it looks great, wow, it looks amazing, and then I'd give them a card, boom, and then go down the street, talk to them. Hey, you don't need it right now, but in 6 months time you're going to need something. Give me a call when that time comes. And I've gotten a lot of return calls that way. Hey, remember me from 6 months ago? You were doing this property. The tree's still over there. Look great. Hey, can you come over here and do this? And just a revolving wheel.
That's awesome.
I love it. I love it. I love this industry.
And you guys also really know what you're doing, and you hire people who really know what they're doing. Like, I remember when you were at my house, you were like, well, you see how this branch, you can tell the last time that it was cut. And I was like, what are you even talking about? And then you sort of educated me a little bit, and I was like, why isn't my avocado tree growing? And again, same thing. Well, I'm going to cut it in a way so that it grows the next year. So I think people really appreciate that,
the honesty. That's the thing. My guy, Tree Man Tony, that's his nickname.
Tree Man Tony.
Tree Man Tony. He gets up there and he's an artist with it. He's been doing it for 30 years. He's worked for a lot of the big time companies down here. Granted, I'm small time, but we have a great relationship. My crew is like a family. We take days off. We go out on the boat. We go fishing. We go to lunches. They got whatever they want to do it. Work comes first, but we have a great family bond with our crew, and everybody eats like their Canes season ticket holders. So every time there's a Hurricanes game, the day before we won't work so that they can get everything ready. And
how funny.
You got to take care of your crew too. That's the biggest thing. I hear a lot of times people are losing employees because they're just not happy. Well, it comes down to pay them accordingly and take care of them. Make them feel respected and like they have something. Not just a pawn on the chessboard. And that's the main thing. Everybody's got to be happy. If you have a great work environment, you're going to get more done. And that, in the end of it, brings in more money. So
it all really works together really well. And I love that you said that too, because again, I think that your employee happiness 100% also reflects your marketing, because why? It reflects the job that you do. It reflects the work that your employees put out. And that, again, is an extension of your brand. So I think it just makes total sense to make sure that you do what you say you're going to do for your clients, and that you keep your employees happy, which is sort of like when you're a business owner, you're really wearing a lot of hats, right?
It's keeping everybody happy, making sure the job gets done correctly, and then dealing with the contractors and everything in between. Just from waking up, fueling the trucks, making sure the saws have good chains, making sure you have borrow for the just some little things like that is what also makes the business run smoothly. But every weekend I'm at the store making sure we have everything in the trucks fully stocked. If it's not stocked, I'm not happy. And that's every Sunday. That's when me and my partner, Mike, we do that. We go to survey everything, make sure the equipment's maintained, it's all greased up, ready to go for the work week. And that's another thing a lot of companies do is neglect maintenance. Maintenance is a main key factor in our industry. All of our equipment's big and expensive. If you don't maintain it, it's going to cost you more money in the long run. So every week, like I said, grease. And just fix everything.
Gosh, there's so many things to think about with that. So I want to talk for just a couple minutes here too about your brand. So I love your logo. I love your name. Where did all that come from?
So Native Roots of South Florida, me and a buddy of mine were talking about up in Panama City when we were doing it. We were like, you know what, because he owned the company Earthworks. And I thought we were going to do partnering and whatnot, but I wanted to do my own thing. So I was like, you know what? And then he came up with the name Native Roots. I was like, I like that name, but it's just too Native Roots. You know, I wanted to brand myself, so Native Roots of South Florida, and then made it a logo so it's not truly identified as a tree business, but an all around, you know, like landscape business. Like if you want full installs, we'll do the installs. If you want exotic trees, we can get you exotic trees, you know. So it's not just one thing, you know. And then the logo, a buddy of mine actually that I met through giving him a business card.
Yeah.
I went and did his stump. He ended up being a graphic designer. And then he asked me, do you have a logo? And I said, no, I don't have a logo. He came out before I was done with the stump. And he goes, do you like it? And it's on my hat now.
Oh my God. It would be so nice if everybody's process was that easy. That's
that
awesome.
was a blessing. He came out and goes, I was like, how much do I owe you? He goes, no, nothing, man. It took me 5 minutes. I'm like, oh, look at that. And look at it.
It is a really nice logo. It is a really nice logo. It's kind of hard to see on the screen, but yeah, it is a really nice one. So, and I didn't even realize that. So this is the thing. I didn't realize that you guys did installations too. I thought you just did like trimming and removal and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's mainly what we focus on is like hazardous removals and beautifying and hurricane prep and stuff like that. But when somebody wants a nice exotic palm or something special, we're going to put it there.
Right.
You know, I'm not going to tell somebody no unless I can't do it. And then if I can't do it, I have somebody I can refer to do it. You know, so like Tim or like Ralph or from Soflo Hauling and all that.
Right.
Yeah.
I love it. So what are some ways that we talked? So just to backtrack really quick. So we were talking again about Instagram and Facebook and all that and how people tag you and that helps you get, do you ask for people to tag you? Like, do you say to your customers, hey, you know, do you want to post or do they just do it?
Most of them just do it. I don't know. It's just like a pride thing. I feel kind of rude going up. Hey, do you want to take this and post my business and this and that?
Yeah.
Like, so 9 times out of 10, they just post it. But a lot of times they'll come out, hey, do you mind if I take pictures and videos of what's going on? And I'm like, no, take them. But make sure I get them at the end of the day so I have them. Because, you know, I'm running around like a chicken with my head cut off sometimes. And making sure everything's going to plan. And they're out there taking videos, pictures, and all that other stuff. And at the end of the day, I just get a nice photo album of the whole project from the homeowner or the project manager or something. Yeah. So it's kind of nice.
And have you had people say like, oh, I found you on Instagram or Facebook?
I'd say about 30 to 40%
found you through social media. Yeah. And did they find you through those tags? Did they just find you through stuff you're posting only?
Those tags.
Just and through other people
too, like I guess the hashtags, they work pretty well. I'm not too familiar with it, but I know if you do a lot of hashtags, you'll get like random people from around in the industry follow you and like you, and then they'll start talking to them. That's another thing. I'm on Instagram talking to people in Oklahoma, and like, how you guys doing your clearing jobs? What makes it easier? You know, and then tree care industry, they have a nice little like a discussion board, and I type in there, hey, what would make the tree business run smoother? And then people from around the country all put their input in, and then you just piece together what would work better for you on that. And that's how I do that.
Right. Yeah. Right. I think that's a really important thing that you just brought up, not only for working with other business owners to build out your business, but to also just build those relationships. Because a lot of times people will, again, this is a common mistake. Oh, I'm going to set up Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, LinkedIn. And I'm just going to post every once in a while. And it's supposed to work, right? I'm supposed to get business like that. And that's not how it works. No. That's not how it works at all. Really, you have to have, it's your, we say content, conversation, consistency, the 3 C's of social media marketing, according to Miss Inc. We added creativity recently. But that conversation piece means actually networking. Yeah. And reaching out to people.
Yeah, that's it. But like I'm a face-to-face person. So like online we'll talk and then, hey, where's your address? You know, hey, can we meet up? Let's go have lunch. If you know, like that's how I like to do it. But like the energy goes a long way too with people. You know, you show up, you give a good energy, it feeds back.
Right.
You show up and you're negative and you're like, oh, this looks like crap, this looks like crap. You're not gonna get anywhere.
Right.
You know, you just tell them, hey, this could be modified or this could be enhanced, or it's just all in wording too. Right. You know, you go up there sounding like a prick, you know, they're gonna take you off. It's that way.
Right. So yeah, and I think the other thing too is that with social media, what I'm picking up too from what you're saying, which is also true, is that you have to, how can I help you? Like that sort of has to be your mentality. Like, what can I do for you to
we're a
make
service
your life
industry,
easier?
So we gotta help the customer.
Right.
That's what we're there to do. Help, enhance, and make sure everything's safe too.
Right.
Because like coconut palms in Miami are infamous for hitting people on the heads or falling next to the cars, breaking windshields, all that kind of good stuff. You know, I was playing baseball in high school, and a good friend of mine, Jed, his mom got hit in the head with a coconut, and Yeah, that was the first time I had the realization, like, holy crap, these trees are actually pretty dangerous.
They say that's like a really dangerous
It's
thing.
you have more chance of getting hit in the head by a coconut than getting struck by lightning.
Crazy.
Yeah, like it's those kind of things that come into play.
Watch out for coconuts.
Watch out for coconuts, especially down here. During hurricanes, they turn into bowling balls. Yeah.
Yikes.
So I lost my back window to a coconut. So,
did you?
Yep. So I had to take the whole tree down.
Oh, now I'm gonna add coconuts to my list of fears.
Yeah, it's not that bad. Just pay attention when you're walking around looking up.
Yeah, don't be like
Yeah, don't do that. Boom, coconut falls next to you.
That's
gonna be the bad thing.
I love it. So, all right. So we've talked about how you've built your business. We talked about your brand. We talked about your logo. So what's next for you? It's about 3 years and you have these, you're doing residential projects, these big commercial projects. You're doing storm cleanup local and other places. So what's next for Native Roots?
Just keep growing here. The client base is great here. I have all the contracts that I need for the most part, but just expand, get another bucket truck, another crew going. I have 2 crews running now, so we're pretty good. We're steady, but the more the better. But
right.
With more crews comes more responsibility and more going to here to here to here. So just slowly growing. We grew pretty fast. So we're kind of just taking it easy now, mellowing out and just staying on a steady pace and not screwing up anything, making sure everything's going as planned. That's the main thing.
Right.
And probably about another year from now, we'll get another 2 crews going and just keep going north from there. I'm truly blessed with how much work we have now.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine what we're going to do when we have 4 crews on the road.
Right.
So that's the plan.
Who knows?
Futures.
You might be seeing Native Roots all over the place soon. You don't know. Who knows? You might be the next Heat logo on their jersey. We don't know.
Oh, yeah.
It could happen.
Right there.
Yeah, it could happen. It could happen. So, all right. So what advice would you give? We're coming towards the end of our time together already, which is crazy. It happens so fast. Wow. But what's some advice that you would give to somebody who's thinking of starting a business or maybe is a new business owner about growing that business?
Do not be scared to talk to people. That was my biggest thing. I was shy. And
wait, you were shy? See, this I did not know.
Yeah. Oh, I'm like, I know you and your husband, but like, when it comes down to like meeting new people, I get like a little sweaty and like, all right, hopefully they're gonna like me, but that's all got to go out the window.
Yeah.
Just go up there, be yourself. If they don't take you for who you are, then it wasn't meant to be.
How did you overcome that though? That fear of that, knowing that I have to interact with people, but also that I'm shy. Like, how did you muster up the courage to overcome that?
I just bit the bullet and did it.
You just did it
because I knew it would pay off in the long run if I did it, and it would better me as a social person. Social anxiety is a real thing. I see a lot of people get into an environment and then they just hunker down into a little crab shell. If you're in a crab shell, you're not going to build a network.
Right. So
the network is net worth. The bigger your network, the bigger opportunities you have, and that's my thing. Talk to everybody. Like in Panama City, I'd see a whole meeting of people. And I'm like, all right, they look important. I walk up, hey, what do you guys do? And they're like, oh, I'm the president of this company, this and that. And I'm like, oh, you're who I need to talk to. Hey, I'm Brad. I'm Native Roots, South Florida. We just started. We do hurricane cleanup, future storms. Feel free to give me a call. And that worked too. Now we're contracted with DRC down here from Miami Beach and North Miami if we get storms.
All because you overcame your fear and you just decided, I'm going to talk to these people anyway. If it works out, great. If it doesn't, oh well, but I got to do it.
But I took the shot and it hit the target.
Yeah.
That's the big thing. A lot of shots miss the target, but the ones that do hit, you're like, all right, let's do it.
Right.
And that's the best thing. That's the best feeling. It's a rewarding feeling.
Right.
So that's why I do that. But it was nerve-wracking. It was very nerve-wracking. Go up and then get like, oh, and then forget what you're going to say and forget to introduce yourself and things like that.
Right.
But now I'm pretty good. I can walk around and just, hey, how you doing? I'm Brad. Let's talk.
That's so funny. I never would imagine that you would be like, we want to know something funny. So when I was building Miss Inc. way back in 2008, I was used to being behind the scenes and I was very shy. Did not want to be in front of people, did not want to talk, nothing. But I thought, okay, if I'm going to build this business and I have to learn how to get in front of people and speak and talk and whatever, like back then I could have never done like what I'm doing right now. It sort of is something that you just had to like, I mean, in terms of like being on a microphone in the front of the cameras and everything, like that's something that you just have to learn and overcome those fears. And then it becomes a little easier.
Yeah. Then it's like second nature. You know? It's just like anything. The more practice and effort you put into it, the better you're going to be.
Yeah.
So
all right. So get out there and talk to people. That's one tip. What's another tip?
Get out there, talk to people. Like I said, don't be shy. And it's not all about money. That's everybody's chasing the money. If you chase the money, you're gonna fail. You chase the projects, you chase the jobs, you chase the network, and money comes after all that. And that's what I've learned. I know a lot of people that chase money. Yeah, they do great, but then they hit a wall.
Yeah,
that's all they were doing. They weren't building a network.
So chase the relationships, not the money.
Yeah, chase the relationships, not the money.
Someone should write that
more
down
in the long run.
Put that on a T-shirt.
Yeah, no, that'd be a good product right there.
That would be a good product. Chase relationships.
Native Roots Apparel coming soon. No.
Yeah, right. I'm gonna say that next on his Instagram.
Yeah, that'd be a good.
Here's
caption.
Our philosophy: is this and this. All right. So I love those tips. So talk to people. Don't be afraid of just having those one-on-one conversations because you want to chase the relationships and not the money. Right. So that's a really awesome philosophy. Is there anything else that you would add to that for somebody who's just starting out? Things that you wish you knew?
Be humble.
Be humble.
Be humble. The minute you get your first nice project, a nice check, don't go, oh, I made it.
Yeah.
Because you didn't. That money goes as fast as you can make it.
Right.
So just stay humble, do the job, be honest, and be respectful. That's it. Right. That's really all I have. That's all I do. And that's what went the farthest for me.
Right. And to this day, you still do all those things, it sounds like.
Yeah, you can't not do it. You got to be honest.
Take your foot off the gas. I think that's another mistake that people I've seen in business make too, is they start to have some success and then they start to like, oh, okay, well now the business can run without me, or I don't have to hustle as hard or keep my eye on the ball as much. And then, you've heard stories where things go south because very quick.
Yeah. And that's because they don't put the time in. They don't spend the time with their crew. There's bosses and there's leaders. I'm at every single project we do, and I work with my guys. I don't sit there and sometimes I'll be in the truck on the phone, selling jobs and whatnot. But when I'm done, I'm out of the truck and walking up and down 826 or in the yard looking, make sure everything's good, cutting things up, that need to be done if they can't do it, helping out, not just sitting in the truck and being a boss.
Yeah.
It's more being a leader than them looking at you, oh, he's just the boss.
Right.
You want the respect from your crew to be the leader and a friend at the same time, but you got to be a boss at the same time as well. So you got to kind of mix all three of those.
Yeah, it's a challenge. It's certainly a challenge.
Yeah, it's definitely a challenge, but it's very rewarding.
It's a challenge. So, all right. So we are wrapping up our show with Bradley. Thank you so much for being here. Is there anything else that we haven't covered that you want to get out there? How can people reach you, first of all? We haven't talked about that yet. Duh, Misty.
Well, on Instagram and Facebook. Instagram, Native Roots in South Florida. And my phone number and everything's there. If you guys want to get in contact with me, send me a DM. My personal Instagram is my name, Brad Morton. And that's the best way to get in contact. My phone number's on both of them. Give me a call.
And what if someone's not on Instagram? Where should they go?
Well, I guess you're going to have to call me at 305-282-8123. That's my phone number.
Wait, say it one more time because I was laughing. I'm sorry. I was probably covering some of that up. Say it one more time.
Yeah, 305-282-8123.
All right, so that's how you can reach Bradley if you're not one of these Instagram people or you just want to make a direct phone call. So thank you again for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for taking the time. I know it's always kind of fun, like hanging out with your friends, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of a bonus. So thank you so much for being here and for telling us. I love all the things that you shared today. Good luck with that project. Stay safe. Keep your crew safe over there on the Palmetto. And we will see you guys next week for another Marketing Monday. We have a lawyer coming in. We're going to talk about business law and some really other awesome stuff that has to do with marketing around that topic. So Grant is desperately trying to open something and not make a lot of noise back here. Why can't we see behind the scenes as he's eating whatever that is? Anyhow, this is live TV. I want to thank you guys for being here. Have an awesome week. Let's hope that we have some better football luck, at least at the collegiate level. Dolphins did pretty good yesterday. I'm happy about that. And we will see you guys next week. Have an awesome time. Thanks again for being here, Brad.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
And we'll see you soon.